When I was a boy, being Jewish meant Hamantaschen and Hanukkah lights.
Being Jewish meant Hamantaschen and Hanukkah lights. And then I learned that at one time, what seemed like a long time ago, being Jewish meant being persecuted. I learned about the Holocaust, about hatred, about anti-Semitism. I saw the pictures of the kids who were taken to the camps. Their faces did not look so different from mine. And from that point forward, the idea of the Holocaust haunted me. I dreamt about the number 6 million. Could that possibly be right? I had one question. Why? Why did this happen?
One of the questions that comes up all the time is, how could something like this have happened?
The tragedy of the Holocaust is not that 6 million people died. It's that one person died 6 million times.
In a short amount of time, they killed 6 million people who are Jewish. Like, that's so intense, you can't even begin to understand that.
My father was beaten, not because he did not commit a crime, you know, only because he was Jewish. And I can never forget my father's screams. See? Like my little brother was 7 years old. He didn't commit a crime. He didn't do anything. And he was taken alive to Auschwitz, to be killed, only because he was Jewish.
People should learn a lesson from the Holocaust and, think about how horrible it is, how horrible it is to be hated because they're different.
I think I still feel a sense of fear associated with the fact that people can do that to other people.
To me, I think that we are always one step away from having another incident like the Holocaust.
The main feature of the Holocaust is it gives you a jumping off point to discover, to expose the commonality in other genocides.
I was naive. I didn't know that, we were the same color with the same people, where your neighbor, people killing other people, your family wiped out in one single shot for no reason.
It's a constant struggle that I don't know will ever end, because you're always going to have this element of society that somehow thinks they should have the power to decree what other people get to do and if they should live, and in order for them to be in charge and do what they want to do, anybody who doesn't agree with them should be eradicated.
We talk about the banality of evil, and all that's required for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing, and all of that's true, and all of that is evidenced in the rise of the Nazi Party.
The core of the lessons we must teach is to perceive the truth and then to act on it.
When I got older, in high school, in college, I learned more about the events of the Holocaust. I heard the stories of survivors, I shook their hands, I looked in their eyes. I had one question: how? How could one human being be so cruel to another?
It never ceases to amaze me when I meet survivors that I know and have such great affection for, that these were the people that the Nazis called vermin and said must be eliminated for the betterment of humanity.
When you look at the Holocaust, that's what happened. Some of the people didn't speak out at first. They thought of self-preservation. They thought it was going to save them. They turned on each other, and we can't do that.
Since 1945, 183 million people have died through total war, ethnic cleansing and genocide. Since 1945.
The thing that I am concerned about today is the intolerance of ideas, of religion and cultures. And you'd think in an educated society we would be getting better. But I'm not sure we are.
The disappointment to me lies in the fact that the lessons of the Holocaust have not been brought to the entire world, and that there is no consciousness of what that chapter meant in terms of being the watershed in human history.
When I became an adult, got married, had children, the Holocaust took on a whole new meaning. I wondered how we would raise children in a world where such horrors continued to exist, in places like Rwanda and Bosnia and Darfur. I had one question: who? Who was going to stop these horrors from happening and ensure my children's safety?
there are a lot of people in this country that would like to do something about all of these things that they see on the news, but they feel powerless.
We must teach the lessons of not being bystanders, not being spectators, of being participants in life.
And teach them the responsibility that we have as fellow human beings, that we can't be complacent, we can't just turn our heads, we can't just say it's not affecting me, because genocide, you know, mass murder, that affects the world. It's not just one group of people, it's not just one person.
I think to a certain degree we're always going to be somewhat prejudiced. I think it's what you do with that prejudice that matters.
It's going to come down to a will to change and the will to make a difference.
My goal is to, you know, keep spreading the word and telling the stories and telling them that that's still out there and it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't.
You must never say it won't do any good, and you must keep climbing that mountain.
There's no guarantee. There's no way to stop human beings from doing terrible things unless you change hearts and minds, but mostly hearts.
I'm hopeful for the future because I am the future.
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 I am the future.